This figure is a contender for one of my best purchases this year. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven, today with a scale figure review. And this is one heck of a release from Apex Toys. Perhaps the best scale figure brand out there right now from China, together with Mietos, but I like Apex a bit more because they are actually making the kinds of stuff that I want to purchase. So this time around, barely 2 months after I reviewed a figure from this brand, which was Hu Tao from Genshin Impact, and that one had issues. Yep, quality control issues. So did Apex Toys redeem themselves with this release over here? We are looking at Apex Toys 1/7 scale March 7th. From Honkai Star Rail, this figure was just released in September 2025, early September for China, late September internationally. So this is a very new figure, barely a month, roughly a month after release. I'm reviewing it right now. And I just had to get this figure out, the review out as soon as possible because I love this thing so much. And spoiler alert, this figure is already a contender among everything I purchased this year. A contender for the best of the year. Yes, that's right. So first things first, the dimensions of this figure, which I think is relatively important given that she has a really huge crossbow over here. You want to know whether she will fit in your existing display or not. How much space do you need? From the bottom of the base all the way to the top of a crossbow over here, the maximum height is 29 centimeters. Meanwhile, there is one more important dimension, and that would be the width because she comes with a giant crossbow. So from the left side of this base over here all the way to the crossbow on this side, the maximum width is 31 centimeters. So this is important in case you are trying to measure the amount of space you need for a customized acrylic display case, or even your own enclosed shelf in general. Will she fit? So this information is important. And the next thing would be the actual height of the figure. Not sure if this is relevant, but I will share it anyway. The actual height of the figure from the bottom of her left foot all the way to the top of her head. So the height of the figure, 23 centimeters. So that is exactly 1/7 scale for the case of this character. Official price 25,600 Japanese yen internationally, but if you purchase her from a Chinese source, it is way cheaper, 988 Chinese yuan. 988, and this is the conversions on screen for US dollar and Japanese yen. So once again, if you get this figure from Taobao, assuming that you can communicate in Chinese, then you will pay less. Except for those of you in the US, you might end up paying more in tariffs. This is the unfortunate part about this hobby currently. So I purchased mine from Apex Toys official store in Taobao. I paid 988 for her, not including shipping or taxes. This price right here, insane value for what you are getting. So we will get into the details in a second, but before that, of course, the box, the packaging. So right here it is, huge box. This is big. So she will cost you quite a bit when it comes to shipping. I wonder if I should let you guys know the dimensions over here. I forgot to measure it. Okay, the height of the box is roughly 37 centimeters. Yeah, a bit over 36. Meanwhile, the width of the box, 28 almost. And the depth of the box, 26. Yeah, I should have disclosed this in my figure unboxing, figure haul video, but whatever. And one more thing would be, if you purchased this figure from the Apex Toys official China store, you get this item here. Yeah, bonus item, whatever this is, I'm not opening it. Kind of nice, but I will be putting this thing back in the box, right? So I will shove it underneath the lid for now. Okay, so speaking of the box, this is one high quality box. This thing is tough, it is solid. It is a bit difficult to dent this thing, though I'm not sure how the postman managed to inflict a little bit of creases over here, but at least the box did the job of protecting most of the figure, right? So yeah, see? I think this is a weak point for this box over here, this corner over here, both sides. But otherwise, this is still a very tough material over here, good quality box. You do have a MiHoYo authenticity sticker at the back, and this box will get a score of 8 out of 10 from me. 8 or even 8.5. Excellent. 8.5, right? As for the assembly process of this figure, initially it looked a little bit intimidating, but it is a lot simpler than I expected. You plug the figure into the base, and yes, the base is fragile, be careful. Meanwhile, the last part would be this tricky part about inserting her right hand into the main figure over here. So this string, it needs to go behind 2 pieces of cloth right behind her wrist, right? You need to slide it behind and then plug it in. So you need to do it right. Otherwise, this part will not go in and you risk snapping this string over here, which is a very nice string. Reminds me of the same string used in fishing. So now we move on to the stability of this figure. How well will she perform when I shake the figure, right? I haven't tested this yet. Okay, this is actually good. Of course, she is standing on one single leg. The figure is going to wobble a bit, but yeah, the entire figure is wobbling. It is not like only this region over here. It means that, yeah, the stress is transmitted nicely along the entire figure. This is not bad for a figure standing on one leg. So I would give her a score of 7.5 out of 10, which is above average for the stability of a figure like this. Moving on to the sculpting of this figure, the first thing I always look for is to compare the actual product, the actual figure over here, to the official product pictures released by the company during the pre-order period back then. And once again, we have good news because this thing looks identical to the official product pics. Not a single thing has changed. Both the outfit, the design of the figure, the detail levels, and also the face. The face looks exactly like March 7th, very accurate, and the face is an easy 9 out of 10 in accuracy. Meanwhile, on her body and everywhere else, her outfit especially, you get to enjoy a nice amount of detail. You get to see what kind of stuff are attached to her body. It seems like she has all kinds of things around her waist, including an Instax camera. I love this kind of small details incorporated into anime figures or the original character design. So this is a trademark of MiHoYo characters in general, Honkai characters, Genshin characters. Their outfit design is always quite the treat to enjoy looking at, and this figure is not too different over there. As for quality control issues, this figure is almost perfect. I don't see any ugly gaps or seam lines. The hairpiece front and back snap on very nicely. No major unevenness to be observed over here. Also, there is no glue leaking out from any parts that were glued together. And for that reason, the sculpt on this figure, high levels of detail including the crossbow. This is getting pretty close to a figure that can score 9 out of 10 even, just because I love detailed anime girl characters with a huge weapon. This is high score. Moving on to the paint work of this figure, it gets even better. I literally could not find anything at all. Paint transfer, paint scratches, any contamination spots, any scratches, nothing. I could not find anything on this figure. So paint work on this figure is just outstanding. You get to enjoy the color gradients, the weathering on her hair. Her hair has a nice gradient from very light to darker, stronger pink color at the very edges. Very obvious. Even the camera on her left hip over here, very obvious color gradient. Actual cameras, they don't have this kind of paint work, but they did it this way for the sake of detail, which I really appreciate. So this figure is full of detail, both in sculpt and paintwork. The paintwork gets an easy 9.5 out of 10. 9.5, yeah, it is perfect. And then there is this outer piece over here around her shoulder. I'm not quite sure what it is called in English. You get some glitter style paint work. Not sure if I am a fan of glitter. I really hate glitter, but it works very well on this figure, so I am not complaining. This is as good as it gets for an Apex Toys figure so far. This is way better than the Hu Tao figure that I reviewed just a month ago. Meanwhile, the crossbow over here, you do get something very similar to a fishing string, that's what I call it, across the entire back and also the upper part over here being stretched alongside the main body of the bow. So this is a very nice piece of weapon, and one of the main reasons why I purchased this figure is because there are not many anime characters or game characters out there that has been made into a figure and comes with a crossbow. So that was the main reason why I purchased it. And lastly, the base. So I'm not quite sure what to say about the base. Like, this is mostly a very positive base. The good news is that the base is very heavy, very weighty, and it means that the figure is very stable. You won't ever accidentally knock her over unless you bump into her very hard. The base has metal inside, right? So I did mention this in my figure haul video. Within the center region of the base, which is providing support for this effect part over here, there is solid metal inside. Combined with high quality plastic that is kind of glossy, you have a very heavy base that keeps the figure stable. Just that this glossy surface over here can be easy to accidentally scratch. You have to be careful. And as for the effect part over here, I suppose that it looks really nice as a display piece. I am normally not a big fan of effect parts, but it works very well for this figure, so I can't complain too much. The score I would give for the base of this figure is a full 10 out of 10. It has the design, it has the colors, it has the weight, and it keeps the figure stable. So it is a perfect base in a way. If there is one subjective change that I would make to the base of this figure, a very subjective one, because I don't like effect parts, I would prefer to give her a diorama base. Maybe she just destroyed a building in a fight. So you have some rocks, you have some concrete blocks and twisted metal and some sand and debris. Yeah, I like that kind of bases. But Apex Toys ticked every box when it comes to what is important in a figure base. Given that this is kind of an expensive figure, I wouldn't want a plain white disc base or black disc base. So they ticked the box for design, they ticked the box for stability, they ticked the box for weight. So I just couldn't give the base a lower score than a full 10 out of 10. This is an excellent base. So arriving at today's conclusion for this figure review, as you can see, this is a very glowing review, a very positive one. She comes as highly recommended, and she is a must-have for every Honkai fans out there. Even if you prefer Honkai Impacted over Honkai Star Rail, I would still tell you to get this figure because it is so good. And I would even go as far to say that this figure is a contender for one of my best purchases this year, this entire year. Every year at the end of the month, late December, I would have a video X Kurogane Awards on the best figures of the year. Both the stuff released by other companies but I never purchased, and also a separate section for what I bought this year, the best ones, right? This is a big contender for that award, for the 1x7 scale section. So go and pick one up, and even if you paid the 25,000 yen Japanese price tag, it is still worth every penny. That is what I would tell you right now. If you ask me, I couldn't read Chinese, I can't buy from Chinese websites, but I'm paying a bit more in Japanese websites, buy it anyway. Yes. So I hope that you found this review helpful and informative. If it is, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, thanks a lot for watching and I will see you soon. Goodbye.